Hello again. In the previous video, we learned how Kubler-Ross created the 5 stages of grief and how project management specialists captured this theory and converted it into the basis of change management. We also explored the meaning of the 5 stages of grief and how they affect us in both life and business. And we explored how these 5 stages of grief can be expanded to 7 stages when applied to businesses. Now I want you to listen to me carefully, because this part of the video is going to affect your way of living. It's going to change your perspective about change, not only at work, but also in life itself. In this video, we're going to unlock the methods of dealing with change, dealing with grief and loss, dealing with unexpected, imposed sudden changes. One of the most popular and effective models to deal with changes is the ADKAR model. ADKAR stands for awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. First, awareness. You need to exercise self-awareness, whether in your personal life or at work, social awareness, and community awareness when it comes to your personal life. Social and community awareness are replaced with team awareness and organizational awareness at work. This tool helps you pass through the shock and denial stages. If you have self-awareness, social awareness, and organizational or community awareness, you will be able to predict changes before they come. So when they come, you will be relatively more ready than most. To build the awareness of your teams, you need to always prepare them for change. Train them how to read the data around them and analyze these data to predict any sudden imposed changes or even to capture opportunities and to build changes. Then there's the desire, a very effective skill and tool to perceive changes with. When you have desire to develop yourself and look for new things for yourself and your teams, you will see the coming changes as opportunities rather than risks. This specifically helps you during the frustration stage, where everyone will be busy finding out how this change is going to negatively affect them, and you are busy finding out opportunities inside the change. To build the desire of your teams, you need to always link the idea of change with their own personal and individual opportunities. Support the idea that every change is coming for their favor, because it's a fact. When changes come, more opportunities arise, more capabilities in your teams are going to be unlocked, which means that there is individual and personal benefit in each change. Knowledge is another big tool and skill. If you trust your knowledge and trust yourself that you have enough knowledge and abilities, you will never be trapped in the depression stage. You know that you can do it. You know that you can pass through this and any other odds. To build knowledge in your team, educate them about how people used their knowledge and implemented their knowledge in big changes. This link between knowledge and change is going to trigger the correct knowledge when a change comes. The ability, or what I like to call the willingness, is one of the most effective tools as well. The more willingness and abilities you possess, the faster and more effectively that you pass through the experiment stage. The ability and willingness of your teams to change comes by supporting them in what they're doing, guiding them about how to change their methodologies, how to maneuver around the current rules and the current tools that they have until they build this ability and willingness to continuously work according to the new change. The decision stage is very important, and that's why I prefer to add another skill in the ADKAR model, which is the decision-making skill. It will help you maneuver around the original ways to do things and do things effectively and differently. When you know what to decide and how and when, you will look confident in front of your teams. You have done a lot of effort in understanding the psychology of change, in implementing the change, in helping your teams and yourself to go with the change and find ways to live with this new reality. Now, you don't want all these efforts to go in vain. You want to ensure a sticky change. Your most important tool to ensure this sticky change or a sustainable change is reinforcement. And reinforcement is simply to make sure that the change is in everything. The change is part of the process. The change is part of the methodologies. Change is part of the mentality. People will come to work in the morning and find the change in front of them in everything. When they open the systems, they find the change implemented in the system. When they read the updated procedures, they find the updated procedures talking about the change. Discussions in the beginning and the end of every meeting will highlight the change. Checklists will include the change. Appraisals will include the implementation of the change. Evaluations will include how far did this individual come close to the change. By time and continuous reinforcement, the change is going to be sticky. It's going to be sustainable. And most importantly, the change is part of the culture. If you reach that the change becomes part of the culture, then people are going to implement this change subconsciously. Now you have a long-lasting change. When this happens, the real opportunities behind the change are going to be revealed. When you master these tools and you train yourself to perceive change positively, you will even exceed the expectations of others. And instead of reaching acceptance and integration, you will even pass beyond that to reach innovation, which is very likely to happen when new changes come upon us. If you reinforce yourself with the ADKAR model, awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement, you are not going to receive sudden changes, imposed changes, grief, or loss as bad news. You are just going to perceive them as another stage in your life and in your career. Knowing the psychology of change and how to deal with it is like an insurance policy in your life and at work. It will give you immunity from depression and make you stand out in the crowd. I am Karim Al-Komi, and this was another PM Talk. Good luck.